WWE 2K25's DLC could be pretty interesting. We're gonna go through a bunch of predictions here of what we could expect. Comment below, what do you guys think that we would get? In my opinion, I think 2K gives us a little bit more of the same, or what we're used to for a DLC format. I don't think they changed the formula. I think we still get a season pass. I think we still get 5-6 DLC packs that range from 5 to 7 superstars. But when we look at 2K24, they did do some interesting things with the DLC in terms of giving us more moves, and they gave us weapons included. They also did the 40 Years of WrestleMania pack, which gave us WrestleMania 40 Arena, WrestleMania alt attires for existing superstars. So I think that they would look at what worked, what spoke to fans in the audience, and what didn't. One thing I think 2K could do more of is give us fresh ideas and fresh takes on downloadable content. I say fresh, but really, I'm talking about stuff that we used to get back in the day. I'd love it if 2K not only included DLC superstars, but they also included things like additional arenas. I liked getting WrestleMania 40 as part of a DLC. I wish it came sooner than when it did release, because it was well after WrestleMania 40, but I like that they did that in order to keep things a little bit up to date with WWE. So I wish that they would, and hope that they do more of that, where they can give us WrestleMania 41 and maybe other arenas and shows that WWE does and add it into the game. I always find that arenas are lacking in the WWE 2K games. Like this past year, we had all the 40 years of WrestleMania, we had all these WrestleMania arenas, but for the regular calendar, I just felt like it was a little thin. But that also goes hand in hand with this next piece, talking about creation parts. But before we do that, we gotta thank today's sponsor. Being a full-time content creator has its challenges and stresses. Trying to balance an unpredictable work schedule, working long hours, I would often find that my stress, and especially my anxiety, would spike. I've had anxiety attacks in the past because of how much work I was doing, and I wasn't taking care of myself mentally. For me, I was never somebody that would want to lean on others for support. I would simply bottle things up inside and try to figure it out on my own. But I realized that ignoring my mental health wasn't going to solve anything, and I needed strategies and tools to help improve my day-to-day. Seeing a therapist helped me a lot to learn about what strategies I needed to take to curb my anxiety, my triggers, and apply better strategies to manage my stress. If you're interested in trying therapy, the paid partner of today's video, BetterHelp, is a great place to start. BetterHelp is a platform where therapists and clients can communicate effectively and get the most out of therapy. Starting therapy is easy with BetterHelp. First, go to their website. You can use my link, betterhelp.com/assemble, fill out a questionnaire, and you will be matched with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. One of the best features of BetterHelp is that if the first therapist doesn't feel right for you, you can easily switch to another one until you find someone you really connect with. And with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. If you're struggling and think you would benefit from a therapy session, click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/assemble and get 10% off your first month of therapy. With creation parts, I feel like they could incorporate that a lot more into DLC. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of us will sit here and go, DLC is stupid. Everything should be included. Everything should be in the base game. I'm paying $120, $140 for this Ultimate Edition. I should just get it all. I hear you, I understand, but it is a business and you know how things go. They're gonna try to make money wherever they can. So if they are going to try and give us more DLC, I think creation parts would go a long way. If, for example, they can't give us most up-to-date SmackDown, Raw, NXT arenas, and even some of the PLEs with Bash in Berlin, for example, or Bad Blood. If they can't give us those arenas in the game, which they totally should, put the parts, the assets into DLC. WWE itself refreshes stages, arenas, logos, all of that. And to ensure that the game stays up to date, I think 2K would benefit from giving players those creation parts. Same when it goes for superstars. If there's going to be attire parts, yes, I'll keep saying this. Yes, I would love it if it was just all patched in and it was free, but looking at it from their side and what is most likely to happen, they would charge players for additional content. So if I'm gonna pay for a season pass that's gonna be like $40, $50, I wanna get more value than just superstars added in. And I think if you added in creation parts for men and women, arena parts, for stage designs, banners, logos. Heck, even if WWE, let's say in the next 3 months, decides to release mid-card women's championships. What if we get mid-card women's intercontinental and United States championship? You know that the community is going to be sitting there going, okay, we want these in the video game. They would probably make the cut if they do this in the next couple of months, but you never know. And so if 2K felt like, hey, some of this stuff like new title belts were revealed by WWE and it was too close to the cutoff or the release date, I think if you put those assets into DLC, it would go a long way for players so that they could properly recreate these elements in the game, or just put those title belts themselves officially in there in part with future DLC packs. Now, another element I'd like to see them try once again for DLC is if we are gonna get showcase mode again, which I personally think they need to take a break. We got all the way to 40 years of WrestleMania and it was lukewarm. I think take a break from the showcase piece and double down on other modes. But if I'm gonna get a Rock showcase, an Undertaker showcase, Triple H showcase, and if they once again do 13, 15 matches and slingshot tech and it's more of the same, try to make things more interesting for players and give us extra showcase stories with every single DLC. They could be tied into the existing superstar, that is, like if it's an Undertaker showcase, give us more showcase matches, showcase moments that are through the DLC, or make those mini showcases based off of other superstars. I liked it when we had years ago and we got Christian versus Randy Orton and we got the Hall of Pain DLC showcase. That's fun, that's extra content, and sure, maybe it's only gonna be an hour's worth of content or 30 minutes worth of content for some cutscenes and some story moments, but it's more content. And you can tie in unlockables in there too to give more value to players. It shakes up the formula from just giving us superstars. Now, speaking of superstars, who do we expect to see for 2K25 DLC across the board? I got a list, I got some names, I got a lot of names, but these are just my guesses. I'd be blown away if we got it, but I'm trying to be realistic, relatively realistic what we would do. And again, if I look at some of the NXT names here, a lot of people are gonna say, dude, they should just be in the game. They shouldn't be a DLC. But let's look at what 2K did for 24, where you had current superstars like Dragon Lee and Nia Jax in DLC, not in the base game. I totally see them doing this again. If they have the opportunity to put certain superstars in paid DLC and paywall them, they're gonna do it, right? Okay, so if I had a Legends pack, and specifically if I had a Women's Legends pack, I think 2K could do the following. And it's not more of like a Legends pack, it's more just like a general, like if we got a women's pack. Some of the names you could add in here for a female pack would be Naomi, making a return, give us her most updated look, Trons, the whole shebang. Victoria, we know that Victoria has signed a Legends deal with WWE, fully expect her to be DLC. You could also do Jacqueline, who has also signed a Legends deal as a Hall of Famer. Alundra Blaze, who has been in the WWE games, she's not, she's done a lot of documentary stuff with WWE. I think Alundra Blaze makes it into next year's game. And lastly, for this pack, you could add in more names. It'd be wonderful. But Kelly Kelly, rumored to be getting a WWE alumni deal, not confirmed, but Kelly Kelly is somebody I know that a lot of people were hoping for. I also had on my list here, Layla. We did get Michelle McCool. We have the Late Cool entrance that's in the game. I think that if WWE approached her within the next couple of months, they've also been signing up a ton of legends and a ton of former superstars that I think you could get Layla in the game. And likewise, Tori Wilson. We've seen Stacy Keibler added in there. It's been a few years since Tori's been in the game, and I'd love to see her make a comeback. But those are some of the names for like a women's pack. Okay, then I got like an NXT Stars pack. There's a lot of NXT names, and it's easy to go through the roster and just be like, everyone's a DLC. But I'm trying to be realistic of who they would want to like highlight in here as a future Stars pack, NXT pack. So Lexus King being one. I think Lexus King should have been in 24. I'm surprised he wasn't. 25, I think he makes it in, potentially DLC. Obafemi, huge name, North American champion. I think he could be a headliner for an NXT pack, and I think you put him in as DLC. The other one, Shawn Spears, made his comeback to WWE, totally could just be in the base game, but I think they could just do it as DLC. And a headliner, Ethan Page, your NXT champion. I think NXT will want to be able to showcase guys like Ethan Page, put him at the forefront. Kalani Jordan as well, and Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka, her attire parts were in 2K24. Gotta figure she's in 2K25. But I know what you're thinking. You're like, hey, what about Julia and other people? Just hang tight. Just wait a minute. We got more to talk about. Don't worry. Another pack I think 2K could do. I think it would be smart to do it, and I don't see why not. Bloodline pack. Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, Jacob Fatu. Hikuleo is scheduled to make his NXT debut, and this could happen with the debut of NXT on CW, or they just put him into main roster as part of the new Bloodline. But you could get those 4 Bloodline members. You could also add in the Wild Samoans. I think you could do something really cool there And if you want to make it more fun for players, you give them the Roman Reigns title belt, the red one, the custom one that they release on WWE Shop. You do that Bloodline Roman Reigns title with like his whatever it was, 1,300 odd days. You put that on there and you add that title belt in there. Pays a little homage to the Tribal Chief, but a Bloodline pack totally makes sense. You gotta figure like Jacob Fatu is such a headliner and people are going to want the Bloodline in the game. There's no reason why they are not in there. They have all made the cut. They have all been in WWE long enough. They can get scanned and be in the game. I think 2K would reserve them for a massive DLC pack. Likewise, Wyatt 6. Everybody is in WWE. Eric Rowan is one of the more recent returns. To add him into that pack, that one would make all the sense in the world. You could re-release Uncle Howdy in the pack, but you could give us Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas. And I say re-release him and not just put him in the base game because Uncle Howdy's look has changed since he's wrestled on Raw. And you want it to all kind of fit together. That would also mean that like faction entrances should be updated. So there's like 5 people coming out for an entrance. It would kind of be nice. But I think that you could do Wyatt 6 as a full out pack. Fans would love to see it and not just sliding them in as alt attires for the in-game models. Then I go into like legends and I'm looking at kind of like a mixed pack here, a mixed bag of just like odds and ends. Not odds and ends, they're all relative people, but I think in kind of a mixed pack of different names you could do from legends and current stars. You could do Mark Henry. Jesse Ventura has signed with WWE. I think Jesse Ventura is going to do commentary for Saturday Night's Main Event in December. Andrade I have in there as well. He's been back in WWE since last year's Royal Rumble. And to throw it in there for some legends, I thought Road Warriors. I haven't seen them in a WWE game in a long time. I don't know what their status is with WWE or their families and all of that, and if they'd be able to be contracted in there. Another one would be Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman Jr. is in WWE as Lexus King. I think Pillman, you put him in there too. That'd be kind of like my legends pack, miscellaneous pack. Okay, then I've got NXT Invasions. Yeah, I didn't forget about like Julia. So NXT Invasion pack, lot of names around NXT, lot of big stuff happening there. And if all of these people can get on TV, like for October with this move for NXT to the CW, couple of things they could release in here. Number one, an updated NXT arena. By the time you see this, NXT might have already happened. And they got a brand new show, brand new vibe, new look, everything aesthetics for NXT. I would hope that WWE 2K can just get the new arena in the base game and I'm not having to pay for it in DLC. But if they hold it back, I can see them putting it into like an NXT Invasion pack and give us the brand new NXT 3.0, 4.0, whatever, and put that in as part of DLC. Then you give us the brand new names. Jordan Grace being one of them. Jordan Grace has been all over NXT TV for quite some time. She's even done voiceover work for WWE 2K games as part of the My Rise story. And she even confirmed that, I believe, with Fightful months ago. Joe Hendry. We all believe in Joe Hendry. With Joe Hendry being on WWE TV so much, and it is rumored that he's going to be signing full-time with WWE in the near future, he is a massive star in NXT and TNA, and he's just breaking out more and more. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Hendry made an appearance at the Royal Rumble just to get that giant pop. Stephanie Vancour, she just showed up on NXT just via satellite. You could save her as a late addition for DLC, depending on when they actually reveal her in the ring. Julia is another name and a massive star that WWE is positioning and promoting. I think they want her front and center. Additionally, Motor City Machine Guns. I think they make their NXT debut with the new NXT. Plenty of time to get them scanned and get them into the game. And lastly, we don't know for sure if they have signed or not, or if it's going to happen. The Lucha Brothers. I just spitballing ideas for packs here, ladies and gentlemen. And the other thing is when I talked about earlier, weapons. I think that they could still do this. I think they are nice additions, not a football, but you could add in more weapons to the game with every DLC pack. Try to find something that's going to tie into different superstars like they've done. I think it's a nice touch. Keep that weapon wheel getting bigger and bigger. One thing I'd like to see them do, just in general with the game, is allow us to customize weapons more. So let us do different weapon skins. Allow us to put in a blue chair and a purple chair. Allow us to put in a retro style ladder instead of the standard ladder. Just let us reskin some of these weapons if we want to have more fun with it. I think you could add in things like thumbtacks. Anything would go a long way for fans. Now, hopefully, if we do get something like that for DLC. Hopefully it delivers. But the last DLC pack we did get, the Global Superstars pack, did that deliver? We got that video, our full review of that pack right here. Click right there, guys. Have a great day. See ya.